Video games! Alright, so I want to talk about dating and video games. Particularly dating girls in their 20s while I was in my 20s, versus dating girls in their 20s while I'm in my 30s. In my 20s, video games are cool and all. Like, I used to play a lot of Pro Skater. I dug that before they went and ruined it and made it a video game. Video games! Driving games, baseball games. I used to dig all the Nintendo games back when I was a little kid. You know, all Mario. And I was playing Mario back when Donkey Kong. You know, his own like Donkey Kong. That's my shit. Like, I still could play Donkey Kong for hours. You know, like Mario there climbing up the ladders and jumping over the barrels, and you grab the hammer and you smash the barrels, and you climb up and you gotta save the princess and defeat Donkey Kong. That's a video game. Video games! That turned Mario from a plumber to a star. Meanwhile, I've been trying to land an airplane on an aircraft carrier since 1986. Yeah, I tell you, that's not the job for me. I can fly an airplane, but getting to land on an aircraft carrier, that's a whole nother story. If I ever get in that situation, I'm going to splash down way in front of the aircraft carriers. That way they got to send out a boat to pick me up. See, when girls in their 20s, when I was in my 20s, they get that, you know? But that's video games are just video games then. Now video games are video games. And video games are something that's completely different. It's even like for schools, it's recognized in clubs and scholarships where they do it as a sport and all of that and everything. A lot of people make money playing video games. Video games! So does this change anything? I know that video games are more prevalent now in people in their 20s versus when I was in my 20s, and I can only say that it's going to increase. I know that as far as when I meet somebody in anywhere in that age range, and it's the first natural question, hey, what are you into? Video games! Or some kind of video games comes up. It's a community, it's a circle, it's them playing Final Fantasy with some dude online while people watch. Video games! It's interesting what video games have become, you know, and kind of where we're going. There's dude that I work with, Mr. Steal Your Girl, you know, he plays video games with girls online. He talks about Rocket League. I don't know what it is, but rockets are cool, you know. Video games! So you got all the guys that are bros all talking about Fortnite, you know. You ain't Fortnite mobile, dog, you ain't Fortnite hard. Video games! Had a girl explain The Sims once to me, you know. It sounded like girls in their 20s when I was in my 20s. It just sounded like a big party with sex and coke. I stopped at McDonald's once for a girl, just so she could get a straw. That's a date, right? Video games! I guess because I don't play video games anymore, I don't understand them, and it's weird to think off of that, you know? Like, I've actually had girls totally first question off the bat before they know anything about you. So what kind of video games are you into? Video games! I teared up Duck Hunt. I hit them ducks even when they're moving really fast. 2 at a time, with a bullet to spare. Takes a whole lot for that dog to laugh at me. You ask my neighbors, I walk around my backyard practicing with this thing. You know, meanwhile, girls looking at you like, WTF, you know, you talking some kind of dinosaur technology before she was born. It's a video game? Video games! You see, video games have sort of created that awkward kind of conversation starter for a guy like me. Video games! People assume that because you play guitar that you want to sit and play Rock Band and push buttons on a fake guitar. It's hard to work around something like that. My one friend, girl, she meets this guy, start talking right away, then they get together and everything progresses because he comes over to play video games, you know? I started thinking about that. It's like next girl I talked to, as soon as we started talking, she's talked about video games. I says, hey, let's get together and play some video games. And she's sure. What kind of video games are you into? I didn't want to say Duck Hunt, so I was thinking, what would Mr. Steal Your Girl say? I said Rocket League. She's like, cool. And this weekend, I guess we're going to get together and I'm going to learn what Rocket League is. But right now, all I'm trying to figure out is where I can get some condoms with rockets on them. Vidya Games!